How's it going, guys? And welcome back to Nerd Chats. And today we're here with Ken from Retro Millennia, aka KryptonicKen.
Hey guys, what's going on?
So, Ken, I understand you're a pretty big fan of Star Wars. Whatever got you into Star Wars?
Yeah, you could say I'm a pretty big fan of Star Wars. Actually, it's all my dad's fault. He's the one that got me into Star Wars because back when he was a kid, he went to the movie theaters with his parents and some of his family, I think is what it was. I don't remember the story exactly, but they went. There was like between two options. I don't remember what the other option was. It was between that movie and Star Wars. And I think they split up. Some of them went to see the one movie. My dad obviously went to see Star Wars. Obviously, he really liked it. So, because it's a great movie and all. But yeah, he ended up really liking it. So he watched all of them when he was younger. And so when me and my brother were young, he showed us the original trilogy. And we both really liked it. It kind of defined part of my childhood. I really, really enjoy Star Wars. When I was a kid, I got like Star Wars everything and like Star Wars Legos, Star Wars games. I was big on Star Wars back then.
Yeah, how I got into Star Wars was just watching one of the old trilogy movies as a like on TV one day, just flipping through channels. I found it, and
Really?
after I saw that, episode one came out, and
Oh,
I started
yeah.
watching that trilogy, and that trilogy actually got me hooked on Star Wars, made me look for everything else.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Oh God, this question is horrible. I know. It's so hard to answer, but what is your favorite movie from Star Wars? Let, let's let
Asking all the
let's keep
hard
it to let's
questions.
keep it to main series.
Okay, I can do that. That's tough though. There's so many. Obviously, there are seven, plus there's going to be another one coming out. But I would have to say the cinephile and movie fan in me would say episode five, just because of how well it was made. It's a little darker than the other ones. It's got a little bit more or of a story going on. Well, I mean, all of them have great stories, but this one has more like drama, I guess, is what you'd say. More of a. It really gets you into it, I guess.
I mean that it has to me one of the darkest moments in all of Star Wars. Uh,
Yeah, what would that be?
Han being trapped in carbonite, and then
Oh
just
yeah,
at the end
that
where they
scene.
reveal him and then just knock him backwards.
Oh yeah, and the music going at that point, oh, it really gets you. But
Oh
dude,
jeez.
did you know that line during that scene was actually improvised by Harrison Ford?
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So I guess the director at that point was struggling with what should Han say at this point when he's about to be frozen in carbonite? Like what would he say? So like they didn't have it in the script or anything, or what they had they weren't feeling or something. So he just told Harrison Ford, do what Han would do. And so they went with it, and he just he said, I know when Leia says I love you, perfect line, what could be better than that for Han Solo's character? It perfectly represents his cockiness and like the fact that he does like he loves her, but he's being cocky about it.
Yeah. I mean, everyone loves Han Solo. It's insane.
Yeah,
Uh,
good character.
I actually think a little piece of a alternate lore that's people might want to hear. Uh, I believe Han Solo, or at least Harrison Ford, got the part because uh, he was working on a part of like remodeling George Lucas's house, and
Oh,
he just like showed up and like, oh, I could play that character for you, and like delivered a couple of lines, and George Lucas was like, "You're in."
really? Huh.
Yeah.
That actually kind of sounded familiar.
Uh,
It sounds a little familiar now, but like I don't know. That's really interesting. You learn something new every day. I should
yeah.
have known that. Being the Star Wars fan I am.
So, being the Star Wars fan you are, I don't know how you might feel about this, but my favorite movie is.
Oh no. What are you gonna say?
I know a lot of people call it the Black Sheep, the one that has
Oh no.
absolutely nothing to do with the main storyline. It's
Misa
the
thinks you're gonna pick episode one.
yeah, the prequel to
Oh,
the beginning of the story.
oh, interesting choice. Why? Why that one?
Yeah, it has, even though it has nothing to do with what's actually supposed to be like the build up of Anakin.
I wouldn't say nothing, but
I mean, it's just him as a little kid, and the story just follows who was his mentor and stuff like that. It's ugh, but still, it's just it has so many scenes that I enjoy, and the music. Oh my god! But
oh yeah, the music actually, I can't deny that.
it is
What's your favorite music in that movie?
Duel of the Fates. That
Yeah,
entire
dude, that one.
scene, dude, is one of my favorites.
Yes, and it just cuts from scene to scene, the different battles going on. It's really quite impressive, and it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's. I've always seen things as like a movie fanatic, like actually knowing about the way movies are made and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And to this day, I can watch that and say, no one's topped that choreography yet. Like that lightsaber battle, no one,
Yeah,
no
that's a
Star
pretty
Wars
intense.
content has topped that lightsaber battle yet.
Hmm. I can agree with you there. And actually, I won't lie, episode one is one of my favorites too, just because it's the first one I saw in the theaters, and it was it was when I was really young, so it also kind of like influenced me a little bit more. I had a lot of like the little figures that they had, a bunch of lightsabers that they sold, all that kind of stuff. So that one I really enjoy, and Qui-Gon Jinn is like, he's my character, man. I love that character. I can't believe he died.
Oh
It
my
kills me.
god!
He was so cool.
But still, dude, oh my god, that music was. I could watch that scene and then turn off the sound effects. Just watch the scene listening to just the music. It's like
Ooh, interesting.
so much
Yeah,
better.
dude, being the music nerd that you are, how do you feel about the music from the newest movie? I personally felt a little disappointed about some of it. It didn't quite get me to feel as much as some of the other previous music did. I liked it overall, but it felt a little lacking in some areas for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was lacking pretty much in the moments where it was trying to build up tension, and like
Yeah.
in many of the battle scenes, I feel that the music didn't flow well with what they were trying to show on screen. Uh, build it didn't effectively build tensions. I'm going into like really music terms because it's how I see music and stuff. Being
Go for
a
it.
being a music major in college, but the tensions and the way it built its chords with its progressions, I just didn't feel it was very effective for like battle. I didn't feel like
Yeah.
rage. I just felt like here we have a generic song that anyone's heard over this fight scene. And it's like we're not gonna try and express to you the emotion of the characters in the fight scene.
Yeah. Yeah. And I felt occasionally like you'd always be hoping like, oh, it sounds like they're gonna go into another Star Wars piece that you've heard before. Like they would have those little pieces of old Star Wars songs in it. So it would like throw you off. You're like, oh great, cool, it's this song. And then wait, nope, it's not. It's still this other song. Wait.
Yeah, but still, Duel of the Fates. That's
Oh
like
yeah,
if my
can't beat
mind's relaxed, that's like the background music that's going on. Like, oh my god.
it. Nerd.
So I've read about I mean I've seen like Star Wars series like Clone Wars, and I've heard about Rebels,
Uh-huh.
and I've heard a lot of about books released in comics and stuff like that. It's the extended universe, I think it's called. Have
Yeah, yeah.
you experienced anything over there?
A little bit here and there. My dad actually got super into it. He had a ton of Star Wars books, and he read them a lot. They all sounded really good from what he would say, and they mostly focused on like the characters from the original trilogy, sorry. So Han, Luke, and Leia would be the main focus of those, but occasionally you get books about like Chewbacca or just the Rebel Alliance or like random people kind of related to the story. You know, you get some Boba Fett, whatever. They had a whole bunch of stuff. Unfortunately, Disney decided to like cut it and call it just like what if kind of stories, like fantasy stories in the Star Wars universe. But they had a lot of really good content and a lot of stuff. Like I said, mostly books, but you also said comics. They probably had the games technically also count were part of that cut. So there's a lot of content there that was now transitioned into not canon.
So you mentioned games.
Yes, games.
Games, yes.
Games.
Let me
What kind of games?
let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
First Star Wars game you ever played?
First Star Wars game. There are, there are a lot to come to a lot come to mind, but what's the first one? I played quite a few PC games. Um, no, I think I think it's got to be Super Star Wars on the Super Nintendo would probably be the first one I ever played actually.
Dude, same here.
Nice, dude, that game was so hard. I used to be so
Right.
good at it. Oh,
Dude. But
oh,
still, I mean, it was a short game. It was just hard as heck. It was
yes.
unforgiving. I still remember when you had to climb up the AT-AT.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. And
Uh,
then you went inside and had to survive like lava pits and stuff like that, and lava
they
pillars
put in
coming
some
out.
random stuff in that game.
Oh Jesus.
But it was so fun. But like I played it like more recently, like within the past couple of years, I tried it like on an emulator. I was like, this is so hard. As a kid, how did I play this? Like I can't play this now when you know you're older. You think, oh yeah, I'm probably better at video games than I was then. No, I think back then I was better because I had more time to practice and more time to focus. I didn't have a million other things going on in my life.
Hmm.
But
So
yeah, dude, good game. Good game.
yeah. So after that, I did get to play a little bit of the Jedi Academy Jedi Outcast series on my
Ooh,
uncle's PC.
nice.
I think there were
Those,
more games that
yes.
were either before or after those, but I haven't had a lot of experience or knowledge about them. Have you played those?
Yeah, I played a lot of those games actually. I think I think the first one I played was uh, it's got a weird title, Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, because technically there was a Star Wars game called Dark Forces that came out before that, so they kind of just expanded that and called it Dark Forces 2. But that was you playing as Kyle Katarn as well, obviously, since it's the Jedi Knight series, that would make sense. Um, it was a lot older of a game though, a lot different game mechanics, but dude, that game was so much fun. It was it was a typical like shooter, but then you'd eventually get your lightsaber, and that was fun. And it was a great game. And they actually had another like extended kind of edition on that, which was called Mysteries of the Sith, where you play Mara Jade, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
It ended up being a lot darker because you I think struggled more with the dark side, and it was just a darker story overall, which was really
Mm,
interesting.
darker, dark side.
Yeah,
Who doesn't want to dabble in the dark side?
right. It's called Mysteries of the Sith, so you would think, right? that struggle between dark and light. But like in Dark Forces, you're just like, oh, let's go save them. Let's go be good for the most part.
Hmm.
Obviously, you can still pick some Sith powers if you want to.
Yeah, so it's
But
basically a
then,
game where you have the liberty of like, does it really affect the storyline if you go for like light
no,
side or if you go for like full Sith?
not entirely. I think there might have been some things here and there, but overall, it was really just what you got to choose. You got to choose like force powers, like if you wanted lightning versus force push or something. I don't know, something like that. Like light versus dark side, but there was no real effect on the story overall. I think you
Okay.
would play the same levels either way.
So that really, like, no Star Wars game actually tried that until
Yeah.
I imagine you've played KOTOR.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh yeah.
dude, that story though. Oh man, that
Dude,
was
what
so
was
good.
the opening level called? The tutorial level, Terrace?
Was it? No. Well, don't you start on the ship first on the
I mean,
Republic
yeah,
fleet
on the
ship?
Republic fleet, but
But after
the
that, you mean?
planet.
Oh, the planet was Terrace, yes, or was
I
it Telos? I can't. I don't know why they started the two main like Citadel type planets with the T. It's confusing in both the games.
I'm gonna say it's Terrace.
I think you're right. I think it's Terrace.
But oh my god, I hated that planet.
Yeah, it was so long. You feels like you're there forever.
Yeah.
You're just like,
And
oh,
then
get
you're
to the
like,
next
oh,
planet.
now you can choose. After you leave Terrace, you're like, oh, now you can choose what class you want to be. And then you'll gain
Oh
like
yeah,
different stats through every level up. But I'm already level 12.
right, dude. What did you pick for that?
I was a mage. I was the mage class.
Oh, the one that was all
Light
about the
side.
Force.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. I was definitely all about that warrior stats. The guy with two lightsabers. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
remember what the title was, but it was all about using. I think it was like an in between kind of, because what you picked was more like Force. Let's do everything with the Force. One was more like warrior type, which was kind of what I picked, and then the other one was let's try to negotiate everything, I think. Or was
Okay.
that no, I think that one might have been yours. I don't know. There were three different types and they were all
I
kind of
mean, I
different.
mind tricked so many dudes.
Oh, you might have been the the persuasion guy, the let's negotiate. Nice. That's cool. I
uh,
always loved getting crystals and changing your lightsaber color. That was always fun.
I
I love
always went
that.
blue.
Blue, yeah,
Yeah.
classic. I was always like orange. Orange is my thing. Nice.
So, did you ever mod KOTOR?
Yes, for sure. I think I modded KOTOR 2 first, um,
Mm,
but I definitely modded both. I enjoyed the first one better. I liked how the second one was going, and then you know, but it kind of all of a sudden just ended.
yeah.
I'm sure you feel the same way. It kind
Yeah,
of was like, oh
definitely.
yeah, we have to. It was probably a developer thing. They're like, oh well, we need to ship this, so let's just do this here. Like, oh, there, insert the ending right now. It was just kind of out of nowhere. There were so many questions to be asked. I was like, wait, I need to know about this person and what happened here and why. What?
It's insane, but still, dude, Revan
Oh, yes, Revan.
as a girl.
Complicated character. Oh, yeah. That's right. You're absolutely right. Revan is technically a girl. Most people would assume he's a guy because, they assume guys for villains,
That
but
had my head scratching. Oh my god, when I first heard that in KOTOR 2, I'm like, what?
Wait, are you serious? You're trolling me, right? That was before people trolled people.
That was before trolling was a thing.
Yes, that is true.
You merely adopted trolling. I was born in it,
I was born in it.
molded by it.
We're
uh,
not talking about Batman. This is Star Wars, man.
so, since we mentioned the KOTOR 2 ending, let's talk
Yeah.
about abrupt, unsatisfactory, unsatisfactory things in Star Wars.
In Star Wars in general.
Star Wars. Since we're talking about games,
Oh, okay.
uh, I haven't played it, but I have heard so many opinions on it.
Right.
Uh, but I would love to hear yours. What do you think about Battlefront?
Battlefront, the newest one, I assume, is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That one, that's a tough one, actually. I mean, I enjoyed the gameplay of it. It's fun to play. Some of the game modes are pretty interesting. They're new, which is great. It's always great to add new things. But obviously, it had the odds stacked against it, being that the Battlefront 2 was such a great game. It had such great game modes. This one just kind of didn't deliver in that. There's no conquest mode unless they've added it. I haven't really, honestly, I haven't been paying attention a whole lot recently. But when they initially shipped it, there was no conquest mode. That was like one of the main things. You do a bunch of battles, you take over a planet or whatever, and then well, you don't take it over. You like, I guess, if you're the Empire, you take it over. If you're the Alliance, you're like freeing it. But, one of the two sides, you're doing that and trying to like free the galaxy or enslave the galaxy. And there was no mode for that. You just battled online people all the time or just shot a bunch of AI. Like it was kind of lackluster.
Yeah. And there could only be like one dude playing like the hero, right? Something like that.
Oh, yeah. Their whole hero system, that's kind of always been a thing anyways. I think that
But
in
isn't it
Battlefront
like
2.
they're one person plays a hero and then the others just play like stormtroopers or stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean that's typically what you were. Even in Battlefront 2, most people were like stormtroopers, clone troopers, whatever. And occasionally, if you had enough points or whatever, you would become like the hero, like a Jedi or a special character like Han or Leia or something.
Okay.
But that's not too much different. They have some game modes specific for heroes, which is interesting. But they had that in Battlefront 2 as well. It
Hmm.
was always fun. I don't know if you ever played Battlefront 2, but there was a game mode where you would all just play heroes versus other heroes. So it was
Oh
just like a
God.
bunch of like you'd see General Grievous going at it with like a bunch of lightsabers versus
Oh
Leia
my
or Boba
God.
Fett is like this doesn't make any sense, but it's cool anyways.
You know what I would like to see? I would like them to adapt like all those characters, and maybe make like a Star Wars fighter game.
A fighter game. Oh, I see what you're saying. Kind of like Smash Bros for Star Wars.
Maybe more like a Street Fighter.
Oh, that would be interesting. I
Yeah.
feel like that would be hard to do though, because you'd get like Force users versus non-Force users. But I guess you find that in all series, like superheroes versus superheroes that shouldn't be able to win against each other.
Yeah.
So it'd be fun either way, for
Yeah.
sure.
Stuff like that happens in any fighting series. Like take Mortal Kombat,
Oh yeah.
Striker.
Hmm.
Like you're gonna have Striker win against Shao Kahn or Scorpion or Sub Zero. Really?
Right, right. Yeah, totally.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that would be interesting. And there, I mean, I'll actually mention a couple other games. There are a lot of like kind of unknown. They're not unknown, but they're like underrated. There's like I don't know if you played it. I had a GameCube game called Star Wars Bounty Hunter where you played as Jango Fett,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really fun. It got really it wasn't really poorly rated, but it was fairly poorly rated on like IGN or whatever. But I enjoyed that game. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I enjoy Star Wars so much, but I always enjoyed it. There are a lot of games like that
Hmm.
I ended up enjoying more than game reviews would give out. Because nowadays it seems like, oh yeah, 10 out of 10 for the next Call of Duty because it's the same thing as last time. Oh great, because that's innovative and new. Ooh,
Yeah,
let's
because
give it a
making the
10 out of
game
10.
exactly the same is innovative. I don't really get that. That's
See,
stupid.
I mean, this is something I feel like I should make a video about stuff like that. Innovation, Apple, EA. They're not innovative, but they always become bestsellers anyways. It annoys me so much. I can't tell you. But enough about that. Let's continue Star Wars. That doesn't make me mad.
All right, you want to continue Star Wars? Okay, let me
What else
give
you
you
got?
let me serve you the tough questions once
Oh,
again.
great. Asking all them questions.
How about this? Favorite scene in Star Wars? Like scene or sequence? I guess
Right.
you could do
Right.
like
Ooh.
a scene like when they're in a room, they move around the room, they move around a building or stuff like that, like a conversation, still talking. Maybe a whole
Ooh.
battle
Yeah.
scene, like all of that could be a scene. Let me give you a moment, and let me
No,
just say, what? What?
uh, I
Uh,
got an answer, but continue.
okay, let me just quickly say I don't have much to say about it because some people might criticize me. My favorite Star Wars scene is the pod racing.
I I can dig that. I like the pod racing sequence. It's a good set of scenes.
Yeah, people are probably gonna hate me just because it's episode one, but I really do like pod racing.
But you didn't say anything about Jar Jar, so you're okay. You're okay.
Don't talk to me about Jar Jar. Uh, but yeah, that's probably my favorite scene. How it was made, how it was represented.
Yes.
All the characters that were in that were the pod racers, and how each pod represented like the way each of their racers were
Yeah, yeah.
was
I agree.
really caught my attention. Very detailed.
Yeah,
So
I enjoyed it.
yeah. So how about you?
Well, before I say my answer, I'll quickly comment on that. The pod racing. I really enjoyed Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, that game.
Oh, the Nintendo
That was so much
64
fun.
game.
Well, yeah, I didn't have it for
Oh,
that. I had it for PC, I think, but that was a good game. I put many hours into that game.
dude, same here.
Yeah, good stuff. But to my answer, I'll give you two. I'll give you my favorite scene. Well, like one of my favorite scenes, like one of the ones that comes to mind, and one of my least favorite scenes or sequences. So I'll start with my favorite because it's a little less funny, I guess. My favorite would be Episode 3, the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Oh my
It's
god.
just it's on the level. It's almost on the level of the Duel of the Fates fight sequence choreography. They had some
Almost.
great fighting
Almost.
sequences. It was kind of cool to actually see both of those expert force users that know each other so well fighting against each other. It was really cool, like especially the part where force eh, they're both force pushing each other at the same time with
Yeah.
probably the same amount of force so that they're like just kind of caught in that like equilibrium, and eventually it just kind of blows up and they both go flying backwards. That was really cool to see. And just the whole sequence, lava everywhere, typical like boss battle esque kind of sequence. And the ending, I have the high ground. You were like a brother to me, and he's like, oh.
I mean that scene. A lot of people love that scene. I do too because it's the birth of Vader. Basically, it's what made Vader what he is. It's
Yes.
like the explanation from like the question of the third of the trilogy when they revealed that Vader was mostly machine. There was
Hmm.
almost no man left in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Until obviously,
It was,
like the last movie where he had like the change of heart. But yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. All right, now on to my least favorite scene,
Hmm.
which is also in my least favorite movie. So,
Which
uh,
is
I think most people can agree here. Well, I don't know. A lot of people say episode 1, but my least favorite is episode 2, simply because it is so awkward to watch. Not necessarily because Hayden Christensen is a bad actor. He may be a really good actor, but some of those lines were just so awkward. Not even the best actors could probably pull them off. So he was put in a really unfortunate position probably, but just watching some of those scenes makes me cringe. So my least favorite is kind of just like the sequence between Anakin and Padme,
oh my
just
god.
like the whole thing of them being together, especially the one where he's like, where they're by the fire and he's rambling on about like every time I get closer, the pain gets stronger and blah blah blah. It's like, oh my goodness. This is so weird. Like, ugh, I don't know. It's just I it's hard to watch that movie during those sequences. All the other parts of the movie, it's very political, but that's okay, I guess. It's not as bad, and the fighting is good. It's just those sequences and
Mm.
just their little love story. It's I can't.
Oh my god. Would you say that? Yeah. Let me ask you this: like the moment. All right. What moment do you think you could criticize the most? Do you think it's that scene where Anakin and Padme are talking?
If I had to pick like the worst scene ever.
Like, not maybe the worst scene ever, but the most you could criticize.
Oh yeah, I could criticize that one quite a bit.
I've kind of gotta agree with you, but the moment that killed it for me was the apple.
The
The
oh, that's
apple.
what you mean.
That
Of those sequences, which was the worst? Yeah, the whole apple or pear, whatever it was, where he's using the force and then cuts it and then
that
passes it back.
CGI.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's awkward. It's kind of weird. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm, I hated it
It's
so much.
it's weird.
Could be like that is the worst example of special effects in CGI that I've
That is not how I would be using the
ever
force to
seen.
impress a lady. Yeah, like why? What that doesn't even make sense. Like
How
why would you
would
like,
you
huh?
be? How
Huh?
would you be using the Force? You know what?
I'd be doing
What's your
like
no? What's your favorite Force ability? Like your favorite
that one's
skill? Like
there's like too many. If you go into like all the lore and stuff, I don't know, it'd have to be like hmm. Well, that's a tough one.
let's keep it like this. Let's have it. Let's make it like one light and one dark.
All right, but you mean like more mainstream?
Like
Like,
maybe
'cause
more
there are some
mainstream. I
obscure
mean,
ones like
my
Force
favorite is kind
camouflage.
of my favorite is kind of like generic. My favorite
Yeah.
Force ability is the Force jump.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the ones that most people would know, because you could get pretty obscure.
Yeah.
That would be good. If I had to pick like more basic one, it would be like force. Force jump is pretty good. I was gonna say force speed, but force jump
Oh,
is
Force
pretty
speed
good.
is really good too.
Hmm.
But I'm like,
Yeah,
I know a lot of people would say like Force lightning or the Jedi mind trick or stuff like that. But like, nah, dude, give me that Force
just being
jump.
able to jump, right? Yeah, that would be pretty useful. Yeah, yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I'd pick that.
Yeah.
In terms of dark side powers, though, choke would be pretty good. That would be
Choke.
pretty interesting. I guess just the ability to just like levitate someone in general, maybe not necessarily choke them, kind of just like mess with them would be kind of fun.
I would imagine you going out all Order 66 on everyone.
Execute Order
66.
66.
Oh my god. All right.
Ah, good.
So let me check.
What else you got?
Oh my god, dude, this recording has been going on for way too long. I think this is good enough. Uh, Also, because I want to give you a minute. Do you want to go ahead and sell yourself out?
Sell myself out. Oh man, I could do that.
You're gonna be selling your body so hard.
Uh,
Wait.
uh, yeah. No, no, I'm not going to be doing that. Actually, I'll actually mention a couple things real quick. First, we both of us are involved in a community Minecraft stream. This is you'll see how it's related in a second. We do this every Monday. Retro Millennia, the channel I'm part of, hosts it. It was the channel owner's idea, Danny. You'll probably see him most of the time since he's a channel owner. We do this every Monday, and we all kind of have fun, talk in Discord, chat, interact with fans. Other people from the community play with us, and it's a lot of fun. Recently, I have been building the Death Star. Since Rogue One is coming out, I thought that'd be a cool project. I'm almost there. Like level, I'm building it 100 like uh diameter. It's very large. So I'm on about row 66 or something around there. So I'm getting there. I'm gonna have it done for Rogue One. So you
Oh,
guys should definitely check that out.
dude,
Check
that
out.
Death Star is blocking out the sun from the entire town. It's oh my god.
It's so fitting, right? So you should check that out. Check out the Death Star. Check out the channels involved. Come show some support. It's really fun. You can join us too if you want. The IP is in the description when we play. So definitely check that out. Obviously, I'll also say to check out Retro Millennia. I am part of it. I'm the I guess latest member, but the third of the people mostly involved. Danny is the channel owner. You'll see him a lot. Rob is also one of the more founding members. He does several streams. He does Destiny on Tuesdays, and I do a stream on Thursday that I like to call Tours Day because we play The Old Republic, and it's a lot of fun. I play it with several friends, Cocktails and Consoles, and Rack from Just Respawn. We have lots of fun every Thursday. You should check it out. If you like Star Wars, definitely check it out because, we're playing the Old Republic. What else can you ask for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And one quick thing, in addition to that, I mentioned Rack from Just Respawn. He's actually setting up a live stream, 24-hour live stream event, a charity live stream event for a friend of his who's raising money for his, I believe, Parkinson's um, uh, treatment. So we're hopefully going to plan that soon and be able to raise some money for this guy because he really needs it bad. And we would really love to help him out in whatever way we can. So be sure to check us out and check our social media for updates on that. He's the one organizing it, but we will definitely be sending out social media updates for that. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool. I'm hoping to catch most of that
Yeah, and some of
24-hour
us may be
stream.
cosplaying as Star Wars characters. You
Alright.
may see a dude in a slave Leia bikini outfit. Not me, I don't
Aw,
think,
dude.
unless the viewers really want it and it gets a lot of money, maybe. But it's most likely going to be Rack or cocktails. So we'll have fun with it.
Oh my god. Alright. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with us for this really long nerd chat. I appreciate it. Remember to share this with your friends if you think they might be interested in hearing it. And I will see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.